Hello, welcome back to BLENDERSUSHI Live Noding. In this episode, we're gonna take a look at kind of like a study of kanji, but we are gonna be using nodes. We're gonna be using Sverchok for this one. So kanji is a Japanese kind of lettering that is originally borrowed from the Chinese characters, like the traditional one. Um, I don't know how to write kanji. I have to say sorry for my grandpa. He tried to teach me when I was little, but I kind of refused, and then he never taught me anymore. Now I'm like grown up. I don't know how to write um, like a beautiful calligraphy like this. Um, so I'm gonna attempt to do that using Blender. Okay. We're gonna be using grease pencil as well, so it's gonna be kind of fun. Okay, with the kanji lettering, or like if we search like a Chinese calligraphy, um, you will find like thousands and thousands of letter. Like in this case, we can see this is a letter for beauty or beautiful. Um, Utsukushi, I think that's how you read it. Sometimes also it's lettering for a beautiful woman, or yeah, anyway, it's character for beauty. And then there is a stroke order. See, in order to properly write this letter, you start from that first stroke, second stroke, third, fourth stroke, fifth, sixth, and there's an order. So there's like a procedure. This website is especially useful. We're gonna attempt to do that using grease pencil. That's the first, and we're gonna explore it and kind of study and observe the creation of the letter using Sverchok because we can. Okay, let's do that real quick. So I'm gonna make this a little bit small. Actually, I'm gonna make it side by side with Blender. So kind of like this feature a lot. If I can kind of drag this. Oh, sorry. Oops. To separate this. Okay, I'm gonna separate it again. Make it full screen, Blender, and then this guy also full screen, and I'm gonna combine those together. So hopefully this works. Okay, cool. We have Blender, and then we have Chrome. This website also have like an animations that show you how you can write it slowly. Okay, that's really cool. Let's do it using Blender. Kanji demo beauty. So I'm thinking for each letter I will have one blend file. So that's the plan. Gonna go to top view, and then okay, we can use this grid to help us write this letter. Start with I'm gonna use grease pencil. There's a shortcut D, but I'm gonna turn on continuous drawing anyway, and then start drawing. So the first stroke from the top to that side, and then so I can, and then the second one, and then the third one, fourth, and then fifth, sixth, 7, 8, 9. So that's the letter for beauty. My friend told me that the letter of beauty is actually made up of what is this, sheep and big. So big sheep is a kind of a for beauty. I don't know how to pronounce it in Chinese, but in Japanese it's a utsukushi. Okay. Anyway, we have this in Blender, so we are done with this. So we can just close it. Yeah, leave it. Okay, now we have this save. save as to. Okay, we know that with grease pencil we can convert this into Bezier curve. It looks like this. You know why? We know, if you're a Blender, long-time Blender user, you know it. Why we have curve like this? Because we want everything to be a single stroke that Blender can understand, so Blender can animate it. If we kind of extrude it and give like a depth, Blender can animate each stroke easily. It will not draw the in between line there. Anyway, that's for another lesson, but we're gonna convert it so that it doesn't have any stroke in between. Turn off the stroke. Okay, we have this curve now. Save, and we're gonna use Sverchok now. Okay, compositing, and let's grab our object using object in, and then get selection. We have a GP layer. I should have called it beautiful or beauty. Okay, get selection, and now I'm gonna observe this thing. Viewer draw. Plug in the vertices, and we can see. Okay, that's what we get. Grease pencil, when drawn slowly, it's just like a lot of dots. Okay, lots of dots. In Sverchok, if you want to make it more efficient, you can change the interpolation, etc. But I'm not gonna do that yet. I'm gonna use list slice. I think list slice here, and then plug in the data there, and then the result there. And we're gonna check start and stop. We can kind of increase the stop, yeah, and then it start to draw line stroke by stroke. That's the first idea. By using this, you can kind of okay, you can tell from the animation. Oh, you can okay. I want to repeat that multiple times, you know. Perhaps we're gonna use time to do that. So let's frame info, plug into the current time, and then we can drag it here. And then so we can see, okay, we can see each step. Okay, that's one way we can observe this letter. The second one is we can separate loose, because we have like separate stroke. If we draw this kanji properly, supposedly we can tell how many it is. See, you can see this. Say 9. There is 9 stroke. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, it's 9 strokes, and you can kind of separate the stroke using list item, and the level should be level 1, because now we can see this is the stroke number 1, which is at index 0, and then second one, third, fourth, and then so on and so on and so on. Okay, that's the second one. You can observe this, and then the next one is interpolation, vector interpolation. This is very handy tool. If we plug in all the strokes into this guy, and then we observe it, you see there's like a dots in the center of each stroke. If we zero out this t maybe for interpolation value, you can see it start from the beginning and then to the end, beginning to the end. So each stroke, now you know how you write it. So because when you're writing like a calligraphy lettering like this, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, or Thai, or other language, you cannot just, oh, okay, I just wanna draw it like, you know, like a crazy person. No, you can't do that. You have to follow procedure, like kind of like a rules, or something they invented to write the letters, and everyone is doing it the same. I guess if you are really like super creative, you can write it whatever you like, but no, in reality you kind of want to follow the rules. Like, okay, this is the first one, and then oops, where is the spreadsheet? Okay, save this. Because if you follow the rules of the procedures at this stage, and it's easier for everyone to learn at the same time. So second, third, yeah, let's say for the first one, index 0, you want to draw this guy. We have another of this, and then plug in the vertices, and then with this guy we want a different color, like a red, and then maybe larger dots, 10. Now we can draw it. See, that's how you draw it from the top, to bottom. Okay, and then the second one, yeah, and then continue to the next stroke and to the next stroke. That's after a while you kind of understand the strokes, so you remember it. And this one have 9 strokes, and if I'm not wrong, can you output text with this guy? Apparently cannot, but this one will dump the points number. You see, okay, we have this text coming in. This is from Grease Pencil, and now it's curved, and we load it into Sverchok. Now it's become like a point for mesh. We can actually dump it out as a text using CSV or Sverchok or JSON. JSON is also pretty cool in Sverchok. You can, let's say for the points data, we can dump it out as text. Just dump. Oops, we need to provide a text first, new, and then okay, we have text now. This is Kanji beauty JSON. We can dump it. Now you see this text. It's a JSON kind of what do they call it? Structure. Looks like this. If you change it to CSV, it's gonna dump it. You can dump it. Doesn't seem to work. Anyway, JSON should work. You can have like a compact. Compact looks like a single liner. You can also use it, make it pretty, and dump it. I like it pretty like this. Okay, easy to read. It's all the vertices basically. We can save this text, save as Kanji for beauty JSON. Now if you open another Blender file, empty, you can just go to Compositing, go to Sverchok, new, and then text input, JSON, and then text editor, open, and find our JSON file. Oh, where is it? Desktop. Okay, sometimes it doesn't show up because we filter it out. Turn off the filter, and then find JSON file. Kanji for beautiful, or is it beautiful or beauty? Kanji for beauty. Okay, I'm gonna grab it from here. I think that's the one, and then just load it. Now we have a vector output, and we can have a look. See, this is the stroke. How many points it has? It has too many points actually. If we use a vector interpolation, we can kind of resemble this float range, count, start, stop, 0, 1, and then count how many. Okay, there is there's a little bit of problem where here it's just like the when we're drawing with grease pencil, we have kind of like extra lines when we use the vector interpolations. We don't actually want that. Like if I use a UV connection, you will see also here that we kind of let's switch to edges. We kind of have this connecting lines that we don't quite like. We want to get rid of these lines. How do we do that? One way that I could think of is by using list masking. List mask out should actually do the job. Data if true, and then the masking. Let's see. Because so many lines here, we don't know which one. Basically, from the UV connection here, the data out is the edges indices. If we check in the stethoscope, check the data. It says 0, 1, 1. Connect a point index 0 to 1 and 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 2 to 3 to 4, etc. If we properly check this guy, fewer index, have a look. There's a lot of data, but we want to get the first and the last of each stroke, and then maybe don't connect the lines. At a glance, I can see that there is like this number 638,012. That's the index of the points that's connecting to the next stroke in our kanji drawing. So we can probably use that, but we need a way that's more procedural. So currently we have this big list that we need to kind of like a cross. Okay, we don't want connection between this and maybe this one we get rid. We need a way to kind of doing that. So if we go back to our kanji demo, let me have a think. So anyhow, what we can take from this study is that the kanji world is like you can think of it like a procedure, okay, just like a computer program, and then you draw it. This one have many 9 steps, so you have 9 steps, or 9 strokes in this case, and you draw it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, but they have to be in the proper locations, right? That's the kind of the idea that I want to get across. Because it's interesting if you start to think of this letter as like if this guy is like a node, and then you maybe, I don't know, you connect. If you have like a letter beauty like this, 3 of them, that's maybe this means something, you know. Maybe this means like really beautiful, like I don't know, mecha beauty, like super beautiful or crazy beautiful. Yeah. Anyhow, so I guess one more thing that I can show you is if we want to kind of see the stroke by stroke growing, we can use the vector interpolations, but before we separate the loose part. So here, So 1, 2, 3, 4. So frame info, plug into this guy, file save as. But we have to divide it by how many frames we want it to be. Subdivision by maybe 100 frames. So 100 frames and playback. We can see, okay, do that, and then next stroke, and then the next strokes. Here, this is the list item and separate loose. We actually want the list slice. This is, okay, this is drawing it, but we want it to be like 100 frames from the beginning to the end. How do we do that? We can have map range. This is the value, and then 0 to 100, and the value out should be from the start to the end. No, how many points there? List length of the vertices, and then stethoscope. Do we get any? One. Okay. 2409. This should go in there. Now let's check the value. Actually, this one should be float to integer. I think this is correct. Kind of not exactly. Maybe alt min and max should be like this. Almost 0 to 100. This might be the problem. Map range. This guy 0 to 1. It should be the final result. Is 0 to 100. Like that. Whoops. Vertices. Yeah, not exactly, but it's pretty close. By 100 should stop at the same time. So the red dot supposedly kind of drawing it. Let's see. Gonna play back this guy and then maybe play piano. Do I have like the piano app? Can't be open. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, that's kind of like an idea. It's it might be silly, but if we have like let's say I want to start with 1,000 kanji characters, and I turn all the 1,000 kanji characters into blend files, into grease pencil lines, and with grease pencil lines you can of course see the strokes being grown one by one. With Sverchok we kind of we can kind of observe this. That's in summary, this one have 9 strokes, okay, and then each stroke we can find, okay, this is the starting point and the end point, and this is like 1, 2, like we can actually draw an arrow using Sverchok if you want. Maybe make a number. the number is probably more useful. And then yeah, if you have like 1,000 of it, you can just run 1,000 characters into Sverchok, and then you have this kind of a guide procedure how to draw this kanji character calligraphically, and then you can teach a person using this. You don't need to make like a program to do it. You have Blender. Yeah, I guess that should be really useful for people who want to learn like a calligraphy kind of lettering. Yep, I guess that's pretty much it. If you have any feedback, comments, maybe just give me more ideas in regards of this, just let me know. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.